The following episode of Crusade for Myth Drannor is adapted from the Wayward Wood by Leonard Wilson, published in Dungeon Magazine number 32. The treant, introducing itself as Acorn, leads the party and apprentice druids through the marching Burnham Wood to the grove of the treant queen. Our heroes find the queen's court in a grove of towering trees. Acorn enters the grove first and announces the adventurers as those his queen wished to speak to. The treant queen is aptly named. She appears as a cross between willow and rosebush, elegant and smaller than most of her attending subjects, though still towering over the humanoids. Willowrose bids the adventurers approach. Túrendil is the first to greet her as the others approach behind. Willowrose speaks, saying that she understands the adventurers are friends of the forest and enemies of its invaders. Túrendil confirms this, Massul chiming in. Switching to the sylvan tongue of her people, Willowrose asks if they are here to drive the trolls from the woods. Rilyanasse responds that while they came to find why the wood was walking as it was headed towards a human settlement, it would be cowardice not to help, going on to apologize that not all her companions speak the treant's tongue. Willowrose expresses surprise, saying that there are no villages near the wood closer to 100 miles across the Ashaba. Ril asks for a moment and translates the conversation. Túrendil ventures to guess that the treants may simply not concern themselves with goings-on outside their wood, while Massul immediately recognizes the translated description of a dwarven fortification as a Schadenfurt itself, which was a dwarven outpost hundreds of years in the past, lending credence to the warpriest's supposition. Turning back to Willowrose, Rilyanasse explains to the treant queen that humans live swift lives, and even the elves live swiftly by the reckoning of old trees, and that there has come to be a settlement that was not there but a few decades past. As she speaks, Mac and Beth walk into the glade, awed by the number of treants present. This causes some distress among the treants, one among them noting that while the forest can be stopped, the trolls and furbolgs may yet burn it down. Rilyanasse expresses the party's willingness to help, but asks what the queen may tell of her enemies. Agreeing, Willowrose tells the story. Many nights passed, an earthquake shook the forest, soon followed by a clan of trolls coming up from the Underdark, fleeing an unknown danger. She continues that the trolls proceeded to attack a resident clan of furbolgs, who, understanding the danger, went to war against the trolls. Willowrose laments that in the time it took the treants to decide how to intervene, the furbolgs' chieftain, named Duncan, had resorted to oil and fire, endangering her subjects and the entire forest. Rilyanasse inquires as to Duncan, asking after the leader of the furbolgs. Willowrose confirms that Duncan is their chief, and was enraged at the trolls burning his ancestral manor to the ground, so much so that he was unwilling to hear of other means of combating the trolls who slew his kin. That being so, the queen concludes, since they would not leave the forest, she had decided to simply relocate it. Ril proposes that the party speak with Duncan and devise a safer way to extirpate the trolls without wildfires. Willowrose laments that the furbolgs would not listen to the treants on the matter. Túrendil wryly observes that if the trolls are dead, Duncan will have no more need to sling burning oil about the forest, and asks Ril to inquire as to the trolls' numbers, observing that it might be wise to beware whatever caused the normally fearless creatures to flee the Underdark. Ril quickly relays this, adding that perhaps the party might prevail upon their fellow humanoids better than the treants. Willowrose agrees with the plan of speaking to Duncan, and says that she will have the forest lead the party to the furbolg camp, adding that with the 5 trolls they had slain, roughly 30 are still in the woods. Putting a brave face on after Ril says this, Massul remarks on the number of trolls.
It's a few. It's a smidgen of few, I guess.
Túrendil puts a more hopeful spin on it, pointing out that if the trolls are not all together, as the group that attacked their camp suggests they aren't, then the party needn't take them on all at once, to which Ril adds that they needn't fight alone if they can get the furbolgs to join with them. Making good on her promise to locate the furbolgs, Willowrose communes with the wood. The seconds blend into minutes, which blend into an hour's time. The treant informs the four that the furbolg now make camp where they had met her people previously in the forest. Agreeing that traveling through the night was no obstacle, the group turns back to pursue a meeting with Duncan and his clan. Hailing the camp so as to not startle them, Duncan immediately calls for another side of venison to be put on the fire for their visitors, giving a hearty welcome despite the late hour.
Put another side of venison on the flame, we've got late visitors.
The furbolgs scoot aside, making room for the group at their large fire. Sharp eyes notice limbs and scraps of troll burning along with the wood and embers.
Aye, my name you knew already.
Duncan offers, fishing for an introduction.
My name be Massul of Clan Bloodfury.
Massul takes the opportunity to introduce himself, followed by Túrendil, who wastes little time addressing the point at hand, the trolls. Duncan relays the events leading to where they are now.
Aye, we do be having a troll problem. Blasted monsters attacked us, and when we turned to fire so they could be proper killed, they turned to fire too and burnt our whole house down.
Rill chimes in that they would like to help Duncan and his people, asking what resources the two groups have between them.
Certainly, lassie. We have what you see here. All 17 of us. Though there were a good 31 before the trolls came.
It is apparent that many of the Furbolg are wounded as well. Even Duncan nurses a nasty gash, though he puts on a good show as he goes about laying out his assessment of the trolls.
The trolls heal faster than us. And I fought trolls before. Been around a long time. But someone among them has more brains than the normal green monster. They've been using hit-and-run tactics. They resorted to fire to burn our manor down. I suspect they may even have magical backing.
Rill offers to tend the wounded as the conversation continues. As the party's divine casters set about healing the Furbolg, some of whom were grievously wounded, Rill turns to tactics and supplies, and Duncan relays that the trolls have consistently attacked from the west, though he does not know exactly where they lair. Jade offers to strike out alone to scout for the trolls' base camp, an idea quickly shot down by the others as too dangerous to attempt, Duncan noting that the troll's keen sense of smell is a particular hazard to a lone adventurer. Rill chooses this moment to broach the subject of restraining the use of fire in order to protect the forest. With a promise of aid from the adventurers and treants, the Furbolg chieftain reluctantly agrees, proposing that they combine their forces and, with the treants' ability to gain information from the forest, attack the trolls at first light. He goes on to speak of the trolls' leader, a magic-wielding matriarch much more clever than the rest, who he deems dumb as rocks. Spent for the evening, the Furbolgs and adventurers set a watch schedule and bed down, made easier by the fact that Willowrose has stopped the march of the trees. Thus concludes this episode, but the adventures of the Crusade for Myth Drannor are far from over. Join us next time as we continue the Wayward Wood by confronting the trolls. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you for the rest of the adventure.